We acknowledge with deep respect that Xchange Business Park is located on the traditional and unceded territory of the Matsqui people and an important area for the Stolo Nations.
We recognize the long-standing relationship these communities have with the land.
If you take time to see the world from another person's point of view, more often than not, you will find that we all share a lot in common.
Xchange Business Park is over 1.4 million square feet of economic development, adding 10% to the industrial land supply in Abbotsford alone.
We approached Xchange through an Indigenous lens, one that prioritizes relationships over extraction, guided by Indigenous wisdom that teaches respect, reciprocity, and stewardship.
Environmental enhancements weren't an obligation, they are a responsibility.
Environmental works associated with the Xchange Business Park have happened on-site here at the headwaters of both McLennan Creek and Fishtrap Creek, off-site at 2565 Mount Lehman Road, and then further south at the Zero Avenue property owned by the City of Abbotsford. Broadly, the ecological goals of the Xchange Business Park were twofold: to protect and conserve the habitat features that were present within the site. Our goal was also to improve what is out here. Over time, the headwaters of these two streams had become infilled with invasive plants. Wildlife mobility and passage through these watercourses had become quite constricted and difficult in a number of spots. For someone like myself, collaboration with Indigenous groups and communities is so important. It provides an opportunity to so much better understand the natural environment and the history of the natural environment around us.
Restoration to us, it isn't just about restoring the environment back to something that's habitable, but it's also about healing something within us as Wilmot people.
We are the people of the river. Matsqui translates into English as easy passage, and that is because of the flat land with many small creeks and streams to cross. When I was young, fish was our main source of food. So taking care of the water and, taking care of the fish was really important to us.
McLennan Creek and Fishtrap Creek are both home to a variety of species of fish and amphibian, as well as other wildlife. What we've succeeded at doing is improving access to existing habitat and making that habitat better. Here in the Xchange Business Park, we daylighted culverts, created access to watercourses that have not been accessible to fish and amphibian for years beforehand. The South Central Wetlands is a constructed complex of wetland habitat that is accessible to fish that was never present before. Off-site, we have constructed a new pool that allows fish to pass through a large culvert that was a significant barrier to fish passage there. Further south, we also daylighted and removed culverts that were barriers to amphibian passage, so now they've got access to new foraging and spawning habitat that they wouldn't have been able to access before.
The ecological goals of Xchange have been a huge success, and one just has to walk the land to see the differences that have occurred.
Seeing wildlife corridors, fish access, and wetland health measurably improve is something that we are very proud of. Bringing salmon back to the stream is a measure of the health and balance of the ecosystem.
We have really shown and demonstrated to the community at large that commercial development can go hand in hand with ecological restoration.
When we first heard about Industrial Park and how big it was going to be, it was really an issue with us, like how are they going to respect everything that we stand for? But Hungerford reached out to Matsqui, and when we had our first meetings, we talked about what was going to happen, how we would be involved, the ability to stay in touch, and we still do. It's a precedence that we should set for all nations.
It really paved the way, in my opinion, of how any sort of development corporations should include and involve the land-based nations that they work with It was an amazing project to be a part of.
Healing ecosystems goes hand in hand with acknowledging and respecting Indigenous rights and relationships to the land. Aligning corporate activity with ecological and cultural healing redefines success beyond profit.
Restoring the land is like restoring a bit of us because it is who we are.
Looking at what we've accomplished at Xchange Business Park, I'm most proud of the relationships that have sustained us through this process. Our relationship to the land, our relationship to the community around us, including the Matsqui First Nation, our relationship to our partners and our staff, and ultimately the relationship within ourselves.